Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Karen and this is my Flosstube KBH stitches. This is Flosstube number 16 and it is May 14th. Somehow. I don't even know. We only have like 3 weeks left of school here. It's getting hot outside. So it's all coming. Summer is a-coming. I just wanted to say I am always a mess when I start these things. First of all, thank you so much for the support of my last video about just sharing what I have to share. I was worried about it getting a little bit repetitive and everybody just seems to like seeing the progress no matter what the progress is. And as a Flosstube viewer myself, I'm the same way. I love it all. Give me the haul, give me the starts, give me the finishes, give me the long ago finishes, give me all of it. I love seeing it all. But I really appreciated that feedback because as my videos go, I do the kind of beginning parts are the whips I work on consistently, and then I get into the ones that I work on weekly. And also I wanted to say a special thank you to Kissa Creations, who is on Instagram. I've been following her on Instagram for a long time. She has a Flosstube, also Kissa Creations, as well as is a designer and has an Etsy store. So she said, quote, stitch what you want and show what you want. And I am gonna kind of take that on as my way to do this, because I feel like if I'm showing you what I want, then I'll be more enthusiastic about it as opposed to trying to like make things happen. So anyway, I am here today. I have a very full basket. I have FFOs, I have finishes, I have whips, I have haul, I have other things that I put in here. So I have a laundry basket, a la Sarah Stitchy spot. And basically I just kind of put things in it. Like if I think about something I want to say or do, I put it in there, and then when it's full, I do a video. I don't really have any like set time. And so some of this stuff I'm not really even sure why I put it in here, but we'll get there and we'll get through it. All right, so first things first, I did some FFOing on a few of my projects from the Finished a Million Years Ago bin. So both of these are from Plum Street Samplers, and they are from the Stack, Animal Stack series. I don't even know if that's what she officially calls it, but there are a lot of these. I think I have 8 or 9 ready to stitch, and I've stitched I think 6 already. Anyway, this one is called Llama Lump. Look at those guys. And it has a bit of a Christmassy theme. So I have shown on here before Rack Stack and Llama Lump, and this next one I'm going to show, they're kind of holiday inspired. This one has Christmas trees. But not all of them are. Many of them are just, you know, cows or pigs or whatever. So just so you know. So anyway, this is tangents, you guys. This is Llama Lump from Plum Street Samplers. It's 40 count vintage country mocha. And I think it's all called for except for these tree colors I needed to sub out. So I put some red polka dots on the back. So I probably finished this 2 or 3 years ago. This actual piece of fabric, I had 4 designs finished on. So I fully finished 2 of them. So I still have 2 others to fully finish. Dropped it. This is Henpeck. And at first I was like, you know, I thought these were all the exact same size. I stitched this on the same piece of 40 count vintage country mocha, but you can see it kind of breaches the border. So I think my finish ended up being a little bit larger. And I put these kind of rustic stars on the back. So as I said, these two both are a little bit holiday-ish, but many of them are not. There's like kangaroos and hedgehogs and raccoons. The other 2 that I've ready to finish are goats, and turkeys. So hopefully I'll get those done soon. So yeah, that was fun. I just kind of woke up and thought, I want to finish something today, and I had something all set, so that was fun. So those two I finished a long time ago. I don't even really know when. And then this finish, I'm really proud of this finish. This is from the Animal Crackers series by Stacey Nash. This is P. Roy the Slug. He has a bow tie. And I finished him a long time ago as well. And I was very concerned about the shape, obviously. And she does include in her chart like an outline. And I'll be honest, figuring out how to figure all that out was a bit of a puzzle. So I just turned him to the back, and I used it's a fabric pen, Pentel fabric pen, I think. And I just drew around it. And I will tell you, so this had a lot of firsts. So this is the first time I've ever done anything shaped, right? So I definitely cut this the wrong way first. I definitely cut I put fusible something. I definitely cut that wrong first. So it takes a bit of brain math to figure out, okay, this is the back side, so I need to measure the back side. But anyway, I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And I also managed to change the needle in my sewing machine. That was not hard once I figured out what to put into it. That was the hardest part. Again, I have the manual for like how to do things. What I don't have is like an understanding of what needle should I put in? How do I know it's not working very well? I do know now it wasn't working very well because this was really great. So I changed the needle right before I did this. And I just kind of didn't do anything, I just kind of forced it through, which is maybe not right, but it worked. I did, when I turned it out, there was a little spot here and a little spot here that I had to return it, and I just hand stitched them. And then I put a little bit, for the first time, I put some lizard litter in here. I wanted to put a little bit more, so I put stuffing in the top, and then I wanted to put lizard litter to kind of make it more of a base. That's terrible. Look at my stitches. It's not terrible. It's life. And I kind of thought, well, the lizard litter will just fall into it doesn't really do that. So I didn't quite get as much as I wanted, but it does work that way. So that was the first time I had used lizard litter, which is also their walnut shells, I guess. I don't really know. But it does give it a bit of weight. I thought I would be able to get more in, but just so you know, if you put stuffing in, it doesn't really fall into it. It doesn't. Anyway. So, those are my FFOs. I did FFO a gift that I then sent off into the world. And that was a cute one too. All right. So those were my finishes. No, those were my FFOs. Then I had two finishes. Get these out of here. These were both, these were both 2 threads a day. So I had this one first. This is Bird Nerd by Boomerang Stitches. And I'm finished. Well, so I didn't finish. I did finish, but I didn't. So under here in the original pattern, it says like Bird Nerd. And I just realized it was going to be giant if I did all that. So I love the idea of making this into a pillow, like a long pillow for my summer stuff. So anyway, stop. So this is called Bird Nerd or Bird Herd. It is a free pattern from Boomerang Stitching. Boomerang Stitching is also Amity of the Hathaway Stitchers on Flosstube. This is a free design. I stitched it with the called for colors, except for this green is just a shade off because I didn't have it. I stitched this as 2 threads a day. It is on Osnaburg fabric, so it's a little more elongated than it would be on a normal piece. And I have to say, our quail are now out finding all their nests. We have a lot of quail in Nevada, and they're so funny. They're the funniest little things. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and stop and not put the words on because I want to make this an elongated pillow. But what I've also seen people changing colors, making them into like gothy colors. And I thought, man, you could make these stronger Christmas colors and just make 4 separate ornaments. This pattern has a lot of possibilities. So I'm hoping that I will have this fully finished by the time I see you next. Maybe this will be my, I don't know what that's called, thumbnail. So again, I stitched this as 2 threads a day. And then once I finished that, I went back to this piece. This is a freebie from Hands On Design called Berries and Bloom. And I had finished it for a friend and made it into a little pillow. So I restitched it again so that I would have a matching pillow. None of these colors are called for. In the original design, it calls for 3 different greens and 3 different reds. I used 1 green and 2 reds. So this is a red and then these 2 are a red, just to make it easier to stitch. So yeah, so I got that one done and I'm hoping to get that fully finished as well. So those were my 2 FFOs. They came out of my 2 threads a day. That is a really efficient way to kind of keep pieces going. All right, on to the whips. So I start, this is where it gets repetitive. I start every day with my 27/5, meaning that 5 days a week I spend 27 minutes on this project. A Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger by the Scarlet Letter. I have worked my way over here. Nope. I've worked my way here, and I'm on this little flower. So, last time I saw you, I had finished this bird and this snail. I came over here and got these leaves in, and this bird, and then filled in all of this. That fill in, it's a bear, but it, you just pick away at it. But now I got back to some fun stuff. So I'm outlining this flower. Then I think there's something here, and then I'll fill in again, and then I'm going to move over to the next page. So, inch by inch, stitch by stitch, 27/5. So I do that 27 minutes, 5 days a week. Then I move on to my 2 threads a day project. Fergus is on the floor and has just licked upon my case. You heathen dog. Gross. Anyway, I keep my 2 threads a day project. This is a Winterbury case, and I keep that. You have the tray. I have all my little fiddly bits in there. And then I have started, very slightly started. Whoa, Karen! That was bad news, bears. Sorry. I have started. This is my new 2 threads a day. This is a freebie from Pinker Pumpkin. Oh, gets me every time. I have the picture and I don't have it. I'll put it in the box below. But anyway, it's another one of these little alphabets with the bee skep. So again, that's a freebie. And I'm doing this. This is Osnaburg fabric that I tea dyed. So that's going to be my next 2 threads a day. And then I think I was just looking on her blog. That's where her freebies are. They're on her blog, but she does have an Instagram, so you can link to it. But I think I'm going to do this next. It's a little strawberry, and I've never done a strawberry. And you'll see in my WIPs, one of my projects is kind of like this giant strawberry. So I thought I might start with something smaller just to get the lay of the land in terms of finishing it. And it would be fun to have in a little bowl. So she has a ton of beautiful freebies, houses and alphabets and little postage stamp size things and strawberries and everything. So I will link it down below. Go give her a look. And that's going to be my new 2 threads a day. The other thing that I have added in, it's kind of an additional 2 threads a day. I'm just gonna keep putting these in there. First and foremost, I got this lovely treasure for Mother's Day. It was an early Mother's Day gift. And it's a Winterberry case. It's just smaller, obviously. Silly. It's more like a travel case just to take your tools with you. So it has this beautiful pink in here. I have like a pen back here. I have a little needle minder here. Here's my scissors. And these I've taken on planes many, many times without issue. And then I made this little thing out of charms. Fruits and veggies and stuff. So I have that in there. I have a little thing for my orts. And then I have, so this is a pill case from Amazon, I think. But I put some thread magic in it. Anna from the Curious Crafters was talking about beeswax and how she doesn't use beeswax when she stitches, but she is a thrifty stitcher, and so when she has to pull something out, she'll put some beeswax on it to help save that thread. So you kind of get a little less wear and tear on that thread. And I am definitely a person who, if I have to tear something out, I try to do it carefully so that I can reuse. So I put some of this in here to try that, and I did try it and it works quite well. So anyway, that's a new little, so this is another one. So this little tray lifts out and you have more little spots in here. I have a tape measure and clips. These are needles. So this is more of just a travel case that you put like with a project bag and you take it with you. But I love this color. It's coming across, it's not quite so limey, but it's really, really pretty. So I was very, very lucky to get that. But anyway, what I am stitching with that is these 12 monthly minis, not minty monthlies, from Primrose Cottage. And so I showed you this last time, and I just am basically, this is 36 count summer khaki. And I began at the beginning. So this is the January. I'm going to try and fit them all on here. And my intention is to pull threads, right? But this one, where is it on here? It's right here. This one has quite a few colors in it. So I just pulled the DMC for this one. But there are definitely some in here, like the St. Patrick's Day just has 2 colors of green. So I'll pull colors for that. I think this is just a red and a pink. So it'll be a mixture, which is fine because they're all going to be similar based on what they are, but they're not going to be the same because they're all going to be put out at different times of the year. So this is, for now, a second 2 threads of the day. It may just become my main 2 threads. I don't know. But I wanted to get a start on those because I do want to stitch them all before I start finishing. So I just wanted to kind of get going before I got too far out of my brain. All right, so on to my Picket and Whippets. Sorry, this is crooked. There's Fergus. Fergus, come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you just lay there, buddy. Okay, on to my Picket and Whippets. Sorry. You guys, I should have never messed with that. Anyway, so this year, every week, my son is picking a bag, and I'm working on that whip for that week. And I love this. I really, really love it. I am working on projects I haven't seen in a long time. I get progress on them, but I don't feel like I need to do anything. It's just been really great. So I showed you this one last time, but it got its full week. So this is a Quilting with Nico bag, and it houses all of my Satsuma Street ornament kits. Hello. So this week was awesome. All right, so when I saw you last, this was the piece I was working on. And this actually, this is Santa Nutcracker. And this was a piece that I took, that I had my husband grab when we went to Utah, when we medevaced to Utah and then spent 16 days. And I stitched on it for a few days, but it was the only thing I knew that I could have him grab that had everything in it. I figured I could find some scissors at the hospital. But otherwise, it has a needle, it has floss, it has the paper, it has the design, like, you know. So I knew I could find scissors. So I did stitch on this a few days. So it was a little hard. Let's be honest. It wasn't like bittersweet or nice or whatever. It was kind of hard. But I finished them. Oh boy. Well, that's hard. But there you go. And you see, so you get all the beads, you get all the sequins and everything. So I have to cut these out and it attaches to his hand. So that was the first one, and I finished it. So then I took out, this is Partridge in a Pear Tree. She's doing a whole 12 days of Christmas, and there are 4 out, I believe. 4 calling birds, yeah. And so I had already finished 2 turtle doves, so I picked this out next and finished it. Isn't it beautiful? That pair, it's too good. It's too good. And I just love this one. So I pulled that out and finished it. Woot woot. So then I decided to pull out 3 French hens and got a rather tidy start on it. So I was so happy. So when I pulled out this bag, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kits in here. And now I have 3. And that's a week's worth of stitching along with doing the other stuff. But these are so great because we were watching volleyball And usually if I'm watching something, I have to take my glasses off to stitch because I'm usually doing like 40 count or whatever. This I could stitch and watch. And they were just great. It's just everything's right there. So I cannot highly recommend these kits enough. They're really fantastic. So that was a hugely successful Pick It and Whip It. They're not all as successful, let's be real. So that was that one. The next one, I was pretty happy about this too. This is another Quilting with Nico bag. Those naughty kitties messing up Christmas. So cute. And this one, you'll remember, or maybe you won't, I don't know. But this, I battled with this at Christmas time. This is Christmas in My Heart by Samplers Not Forgotten. I had taken this out, I was gonna work on it, and I got stuck basically right here. I had like one of these little white flowers done. I was struggling with the color, I was struggling with the fabric. I was just kind of a mess. And I got to, I think, like here. So when this one came up, I was like, ruh-roh. However, I got myself all the way down that left side of the sampler. So this is the bottom, which I was also really glad about because I had this huge piece of fabric and I was like, this thing is going to be giant. It's not going to be that giant. I don't know why I have all that fabric. It'll probably be there when I finish it too. But look at that. So I was up here, and no, these white flowers don't show very well, but they don't show very well in the piece either. But I got all down here and the tree, and I did this whole urn. That's those white flowers too. So I was super proud of that. And so now when I come back, I get to go to the words and the house. So I was super, 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 super happy with this. Have I been saying anything? This is 40 count platinum, and I am stitching it with the called for flosses. I will say, what is the color? What are you? Piney Woods. You're gonna need more Piney Woods than they say, I think. I'm not entirely positive, but I still have all these trees and all this. It's fine. I could get another Piney Woods, but just so you know, you may want to order it that way. So that was another pretty successful. My stitching has been successful lately. I just feel in a real good groove. And we haven't been having to travel and leave as much. That whole thing is a total mess. We're supposed to go back in July. The doctor we were supposed to be moved to is going to be on maternity leave. I don't know how nobody knew that last month. It's a disaster. I knew it would be a disaster, and so I should feel better about it, but I don't. All right, this was bag 18. This is a stitch piece that I did. This used to be a freebie. Mushroom sampler. It was by Gera, G-E-R-A, and I know that, what is that? Creative Poppy bought their designs, and I don't think they bought this one. So I don't know if you can still find it. It was super fun to stitch. And I asked my mother-in-law to make it into this bag for me. Look how cute. Hi, kitty. And I just adore it. Orange polka dots. I mean, what could I do? So this is just one of my favorites, and something I will treasure. All right, this is another piece on 40 count. this one's on 40 count light mocha. And this is from Theron Traditions, and it's called Needle and Pins. And I don't know, this was years ago. Everybody kind of bought this pattern. It's not a reproduction sampler. It was made in 1992, and it's kind of a riff on samplers. The words say, needles and pins, when a man marries, his troubles begin. So it's a bit of a riff on a wedding sampler. But for a bit there, a lot of people were stitching it. There's some over one, there's some specialty stitches, but it's all in DMC. So this one is on 40 count light mocha, and I'm stitching it with the DMC. Another piece of fabric that I just need half of, but so be it. And this is, oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Let me see. This is where I am. So I was about right here. So I did all this border, which all those strawberries are different. They all have about 4 colors in them. I am such a liar. I did over here. You guys, it's backwards. Anyway, I did all this. So I did like from here over. And they're just, it's fiddly, but it's fun. I love that needle minder. Ah. So yeah, so here's where the words should be, and they're over one. And I think I'm just not gonna do them. I think 5 years ago or whatever, I thought that was funny, and now I just am kind of like, yeah, great. So, you know, life comes at you fast, people. So there we go. So yeah, it was 2 weeks in a row of big 40 count samplers, which, I mean, that's the thing. So when I started most of these whips, I didn't think that I could do any finishing or anything else. So I kind of stayed away from smalls and just kind of was like, okay, just work on things that can be framed. And now, because I feel more confident in finishing, I'm kind of drawn to the smaller things. And so a lot of these whips that are getting pulled are big things on 40 count things, you know, they're just kind of huge. Whereas the stuff I'm doing now is kind of the total opposite of that, because they're smalls and I just feel less, they feel less like heavy. And so it's very interesting. But it's a good mix in my day to kind of go back and forth between the big things and the small things. All right, you didn't need that whole conversation. Anyway, bag 19 is this beautiful, this is from Blue Ribbon Designs, and it is this blackbird fabric. I love it. It's such, her bags are so wonderful. I really love her bags. And let's see, where are we at? Okay, so this is a design from the Winds of Autumn book. This book is awesome. I could stitch just about anything in here, I think. I have stitched one. I'll show you. But I would like to, Fergus, stop licking. I definitely want to do this one. I just want to do these all. I mean, that one is gorgeous. Those are a lot of little stitches. But what I love about these books too is that there is so much finishing information in them. Templates and instructions and things. So you can use these over and over with other projects too. They are completely worth it. So the project that I'm working on is called First Winds of Autumn, and this is kind of a bad picture. Well, it's not a bad picture, but it's a giant strawberry. So this is what I was talking about. I'm going to try and practice with the smaller one. And I'm stitching this on 37 count cornstalk. And here we are. So basically what I did, I was up here and I filled in bird. That's a lot of molasses. And so I really had hoped to get his head on. I didn't. It's the avocado. Anyway, so yeah, it's going to be a big strawberry. Basically, you come over here. Oh, shoot. Sorry, that was a bad move. Come on, Karen. So I still have him. I still have to do this house in the front. So I come over here and I do the house, and then that gets folded, y'all, like a strawberry. So it's big. It's going to be very, very big. But I love it. And I also have this little finished one on here. Isn't that cute? So that's just hiding there waiting to be finished. So yeah, so these Blackbird books, not only are they full of projects, but they're full of advice, and that can be used other places as well. So I highly, highly, highly recommend. All right, and then we have the bag that he picked for me on Sunday. We're on Tuesday, so this was on Sunday. And this is a So Much to Love bag. This is actually the first So Much to Love bag I ever bought. Look at this fun rickrack. Getting them inside. These mod, like, kitties. I don't know. So cute. Fergus, stop licking. So inside here, we have Heartstring Samplery, the cat sampler. She's a big house. She's a big house with a big lawn and lots of cats. Can you see this little, hello? Oh, that's blurry. There's a little cat peeking out of the window. So also done on 40 count platinum, and I didn't take it out of the hoop. But basically I have the house and I have some of the words down there. But I'm working on, so I just started working on this one. So I'm working on the roof. In the roof, these little tiles are satin stitch. And then down here, this grass is all tent stitch. And I've never done either of those. So it's going to be interesting. And I have this, I made a little thread thing. These are Charlie Harper cats. Oh. Cat and the bulldog. But this is all the called for threads. And this was the first time I ran into dye lot issues. So the house is done in old red paint by Gentle Art. So I had one skein. It said you needed 2, so I ordered a second. Ooh. So what I've been doing is I've just been switching threads. I take one from the light skein and one from the dark skein. And it's the effect it needs. But that was the first time I had ever gone, oh. I mean, they're both red, but yeah, one's definitely much darker. So anyway, that was my first experience with it. I think that adjusting, alternating floss is just fine. I don't think that's going to be any sort of problem. All right. Okay. So those are my WIPs. Woo! All right. picture. Okay, so on to haul. Sorry, my leg is asleep. So I had mentioned that we had gone to the mall in Utah. And I talked about the Container Store, but then I didn't talk about the best store. We went into this fun little crazy shop, and look at this. This is a blue Q bag. But look at that octopus. Hi, octopus. And so I got this to take all my goods to my stitching group. It's really nice. It's like got the bottom and a zipper. It's quite roomy. Quite roomy. So anyway, my son was like, you didn't show your octopus bag. So now I've shown my octopus bag. My octopus bag. These little treasures came from Under the Woolen Willow. I have spoke of her shop before on Etsy. Such beautiful work. And so I bought these little, they're wool, so if you're allergic, be careful. Strawberries for, see those little stitches in there? For my kind of summer setup of, stuff. Anyway, I love her stuff. I mean, first, it's all has such beautiful detail. If you buy from her, she ships it the next day, virtually always. She's a really, really, really amazing maker. And she's actually working on she's like redoing her whole studio in her house. And so she, sorry guys, I'm fiddly. So she'll be making more just wonderful treasures. So I would never, ever hesitate. Oh my God, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm fiddly. I would never hesitate to purchase from her. All right, then I made a little purchase to 123 Stitch because I had to have this. Quack, quack, honk. First of all, I'm an Oregon duck. My husband is an Oregon duck. My son wants to be anything but an Oregon duck. So I just love this. This is from Erin Elizabeth Designs. Let's see. Done with DMC. Charted with DMC, sorry. So I had to have that. It was too cute. Excuse me? Excuse me. You're a little bunny with a little sweater. And now I sewed P-Roy. And so I had to, she's just too cute. Look at her. My picture is really dark. Let me see. I think I have a better picture. I just noticed that. I better check my chart. There she is, a little bit better. But she's wearing that little yellow sweater. So I don't know. Mine's really dark. So anyway, I got that. And then I also, I got this one because what? There's a chicken, which I love. There are pinwheels, which I love. And there's a party hat. All good. It's all good. So that was a little haul from 123 Stitch that I did not need, but I bought anyway. Okay, so so then I talked to you last time about how do you attach that pom-pom trim that I have. Confirmed, I do sew it in. There is a tutorial on Primrose Cottage about how to sew that pom-pom with the trim in first. So I haven't tried it yet, but that tutorial I've watched a few times and I think I have the gist of it. And confirmed with Rick Rack, you do just tack it down and you do pierce it to tack it down. So I had thought, okay, I want to, when I finish this, I was going to attach some rickrack to it. And the only color, I have red and I have white. And I'll be honest, white stuff is kind of hard for finishing. It doesn't quite show the way you think it might. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and find a gray. So I went onto the Amazon and I bought gray rickrack and I was just stoked, and it's huge. So, oh, when I opened this box. Rickrack just looks like rickrack in the pictures. So I've learned a lesson. It's a good thing. It's always good to learn. And honestly, I think I'm going to use it. I think that because it's so thick, I can sew it on the sewing machine, like down the middle. And so I think I'm going to try it. It'll just be giant, but who cares? It'll be fun. I was imagining that little box you get at Joann's. So, but anyway, I bought it and I have it, so I might as well try it. So, FYI, when ordering rickrack, size matters. I don't know how you know what size it is or any of that, but be aware. That's good. All right, and then, here, let me see. What have I got here? Oh, sorry. Okay, so then my husband continued wrapping my Mother's Day presents in fabric. I got this cute little stuff. And then this cute little Fergus fabric. See? And I will say, so my husband for Mother's Day got me, I had to take a picture of it because it's over there and I couldn't lift it. But he got me one of these tool chests from the Container Store. And so I had that hanger of like the rings of all my Victorian Motto floss. And it was just a pain in the neck. Take the rings off every time, and I've broken like 4 hangers. So the hope is that I'm going to use these drawers for that floss. So I'll let you know as that goes on. I just very preemptively put those in there and we'll kind of figure out how it works out. So we did that, and then finally I got this bag, Kathy's Posies on Etsy. Look how cute that is. It's a tomato! And she like stamped this fabric or something? I don't even know. So cute. So I'm so excited to use this. And this time so first of all, she wraps everything beautifully. So she used this pretty paper that I couldn't get rid of. And this time she included these little floss tags that she had made out of cards, like old cards. So I love that. So Kathy's Posies on Etsy, everything she makes is one of a kind. So you just have to kind of check in, but everything I've bought from her is absolutely worth it and just so sweet. It's just so cute. So very excited to use that. Now, Stitchy Kindness. So I was the recipient of the Stitching Owl. She sends out what she calls smiles, and she had sent me an email asking for my email address, and it's so sweet. So in one of my videos, I had mentioned wanting to try Roxy Floss Co. floss. And so she sent me a gift card to buy some Roxy Floss Co. floss. And it's just so kind when somebody listens and responds, and a gift isn't necessary, but it was so exciting. I can't even tell you. And it was like a week before everybody went to Stitch North and had the most amazing time. I don't know what it is about that particular retreat, but it seems genuine beyond compare. And so it was this lovely way to kind of participate in that. So at first I went on and I was just kind of looking at colors and going, okay, well, I like reds and I like oranges. And then I thought, well, Karen, but that's what you do. You'll go and you buy reds and oranges and then you don't have anything to stitch. And so I thought, stop the process. What they make, so they have individual colors, then they have some groupings of colors that are like for their Floss of the Month clubs. And then they have conversions for certain charts. And so I looked and they had a conversion for one of the charts that I own. And the chart is Mary Amelia's bird. And so I have this chart. I had it already and I was going to stitch it with DMC, but instead I bought, I can't stand it, the floss pack for Mary Amelia's bird. It is so pretty, and I'm not gonna take it out of this. Sorry guys. I will when I start, which I'm planning to do very soon. So thank you so much, Karen. You made my Stitchy dream come true, and I'm just so thankful and so grateful. And so I will say, I did buy one individual floss because I'm sorry, the name of this floss, it's not gonna do it. It's Wascally Rabbit. So that just had Wascally Rabbit. It had to. So that came home with me. But so anyway, so Mary Amelia's bird. So I am planning on starting this, and I was hoping you all could help me with a little, I don't know, that picking of my fabric. So I have two Osnaburgs that I can do this on. One is this one is tea dyed, but not crazy. But it has a little modeling there, but it's not crazy. I know it's hard to see with the bag, but I'm not taking it off. Then I have some raw Osnaburg. I'm worried about this color right here with the raw. But the raw is just, it's kind of an oatmeal-ish. So I'll put these are the Osnaburgs next to each other. So this is the raw and this is the, so it's not a huge color difference, but I do worry about this one color. Now I don't know where that is in the pattern, so I could look at that. So those are the two Osnaburg choices. Then I also pulled out a piece of Vintage Country Mocha, which honestly I think most things look good on. That is a 36 count. And then I pulled, I don't know what this is. I bought it somewhere, but it is I think it's a 40 count. I don't know. It's kind of a gray. That doesn't show right. So I don't know. Anyway, let's see. I think it's more between these three myself. So if you have a vote, let me know. But I'm so excited to start this and stitch it and Karen, the Stitching Owl, you made my Stitchy dream come true, and I'm so excited. And I'm thrilled too because I'll have plenty left. I think once I finish this is going to go right into the minis bag to be available for those. I'll have plenty of floss left to use it for other projects and other things. And so thank you so much. It's a start of a little new adventure, and there's nothing I love more than a new adventure. So Karen, thank you so, so much. I feel so blessed to have received your smile. Thank you. Okay, so now I just have a few other things. I talked last time about how I made these kind of floss backs. So somebody had said something about Miss Grossman stickers, and I was like, oh, listen, that's just the beginning. I have a ton of Miss Grossman stickers. And then I put floss away bags. And so that's what I did before I had floss tags. And I made this out of some greeting cards. Really cute. So I still use those for silks. I don't like to, when I take out a piece of silk, I'm very, very gentle with how I take it from the skein. So I still use the floss away bags and these for silks. But also, again, it was Anna on Curious Crafters. I think that's what it's called. But she was talking about how she had done a project and she had pulled just the floss she needed and hung them on a card. And you just draw the symbol on the card, and it just takes a step out of the process. It's much easier. And so I wanted to show this because I have done that as well. These are postcards that I just punch holes in. Well, I laminate them first. They're laminated. And then I punch holes in them, and then you can use a Sharpie marker and you draw the symbol on. And then when you're done, you just take an alcohol wipe and that comes right off, and they become reusable. So if that's the way you like to do it and you like to, draw the symbols on, postcards are a really great way. This was a postcard from Olivia when I made an order with her store. And so, yeah, and then you just wipe it right off. So that was just something that got thrown in my bucket. And then the other thing that got thrown in my bucket was I was putting away the beads for my Mirabilia Harvest Fairy. And so this is how I store beads after these little packages. I don't like these little packages because they kind of like pop open and the beads go everywhere. So I bought this on Amazon. I don't know. And basically what it is these are like, they're like little Tic Tac boxes that it opens like that. And so I just use a label maker and I print out the number, stick that to the box, and that way it's real easy for me to see what I have. So like I think it was this bead right here. I was worried about running out on my Harvest Fairy, and I had more from another kit. So I was okay. So again, I was just putting stuff away and thought that I would share that with you. All right. I gotta finish up here. This is too long. Okay, so I'm gonna save these, but I am gonna talk about these two things. So I was watching the Saltbox Stitcher, and she mentioned freebies on a website called Samplers and Santas. And I went on there and found she has a whole series of pears. So they're shaped like a pear. And so I'm going to try one of those. I haven't done it yet. But also on that site, I found what is called the Skinny Mini sampler. And sorry. Forget, stop licking. Oh, Karen, are you kidding? The Skinny Mini sampler, and this picture is blurry to begin with, but I am so stitching that bird. Look at that bird. So that is a freebie on Samplers and Santas. I believe it's a blog, but if you Google it, it will come up. And then she has these whole series of pairs and other things. So it was just another site with freebies that I thought was really fun. So then I was watching, who was I watching? Sorry, I was watching Cross Stitch the Globe, and Stephanie is going to be turning 40 in July. No big deal. I turned 50 in November, so don't worry about it. 40's nothing. It's actually a great span in your life. So Stephanie's birthday, and she is going to do a sal with a hashtag Hello40 birthday sal, and she is stitching a Liz Matthews pattern from her Patreon. And so she's encouraging you anything Liz Matthews, a whip, a new start, a pattern, a Patreon chart, or a freebie. And so I went on, and I had remembered that everybody had done this at one point. It says always. And I had wanted to stitch that. So I am going to join Stephanie for her birthday sal. Her birthday is July 16th, but she said just start anytime in July. So my question is, when I originally picked it, I thought I'm going to do it in a pink, right? And I think what I'm going to do is do it on this other piece of fabric that I did this. So let's see. So I originally thought, let's do it in a pink. You know, it's kind of a Valentine's-y pattern, always, you know. But then I looked closer at Liz's, and hers is done in like a periwinkle blue. And I thought, you know what? What about a purple? And I'm kind of loving that. I have never stitched anything in just all purple. I'm not a huge purple person, but I think I kind of like it. So let me know what you think. Should I do it in pink or should I do it in purple? And again, I have until July, and you do as well. So any Liz Matthews pattern, she does have freebies on her website. This is a freebie. Join me in this one. She has a Patreon and has beautiful charts on there. She has all those beautiful 12 days of Christmas charts. So many things, so many options. So you'll have until July, but join in on the Hello40 B-Day sal with Stephanie to celebrate her 40th birthday. All right, so the last thing, the last thing I was gonna do was show some Mira May patterns. So people are doing Mira May. I was kind of hoping my son would pick one of my Mira bags, but he hasn't yet. So I don't know. In these last few weeks, I'm going to try and figure out, just at least get a day on a Mira pattern. So I have my Mira WIPs that I'm going to show you. So this first one, this is actually a Nora Corbett, and I don't differentiate between the two, if I'm honest. So I don't know if we should, but so it goes. But this is called Miss Solar Ellipse. And I remember when this came out, I just thought, oh my goodness, those wings are too good. So this is all, this one is just, no, I lied. It's DMC and then one color of Krennic, which I don't do Krennic. I do Petite Treasure Braid. It's this coppery orange color. And then 3 colors of beads. And you can see these are mostly purple, so I think they're mostly down in her dress. And these like ribbons. But I'm doing this on, I don't know. What is this? This is just 32 count Lugana white. That's an odd choice for me, but I guess. So anyway, I have finished the skirt sans beads, so you can see all the beads will go in here. And then I started on that wing, this yellow. So she's an Aura Corbett, so she's much smaller. Oh God, those. Okay. I don't know. I've let that one sit for too long, I think. But so she's an Aura Corbett, so she's much smaller. You know, I think you can stitch whatever you want, and anybody's capable of stitching anything. But I do think a Nora Corbett before a Mirabilia might grant you more success overall. But you're capable of doing whatever it is you want. All right, this is a Mirabilia. I love this one. This is one of the rare ones that it doesn't really have many beads, but it is called Winter in My Garden. And I love these like discarded plans. I just love it. And really the only beads in this, there's like these little plants in the back have one little green bead on each of them. So I'm not even doing the beads on this one. I'm not even gonna do it. But I don't know. I love how like the room is incomplete. Like I love that. I don't know. It just seems like almost a photo of a woman doing something, you know? I don't know. I love this one. And I'm stitching this on, I don't know. Good try, Karen. Good try. Nope, I do have it. 32 count platinum. Interesting. I didn't even know they made 32 count platinum. But this is what I have so far. I do not do 1/1 skin. That for my eyeball, that's all I see is that it's different. So I do it the same. Oh God, I don't know. Look at this scarf. I love this. And so this is what I mean. So this is, you know, this part of her. This is gonna be huge. Whereas, the Solar Ellipse is much smaller. So again, you can stitch anything you want, but I wish I had stitched a Nora Corbett prior to starting Mirabilias just because they're very large. Anyway, so that is Winter in My Garden. I love that. That might be the one I pick. That just might be the one I pick. This is a more recent one. Sorry, let me see if I can. Yikes. This one I'm stitching on 32 count lamb's wool linen. But this is one of the more recent ones. And this is a Nora Corbett, although bigger. It's called Witching Hour. And I just love her. Look at her just hang. I'm just hanging with my owl, my cat, my books. Just hanging. I don't know. I just love it. mess. The mess. And this I just got a bit of a start on, and I don't even know. I think it goes this way. I think it goes this way. So that's just her, like this part of her leg. So this is an Oracorbit, but it's way bigger. I'm trying to find a... This is 164 by 118. Which is, though, still smaller. This Nora is... This is 180 by 260. So still, this one is definitely bigger than the other one I showed you. That's the back. This is bigger than the first Nora I showed you, but, oh God, you guys. But it's still smaller than a Mira. So I have 2 more to show you. So I have 2 Nora Corbett WIPs, and I have 3 Mirabilia WIPs. I have things kitted and ready to go, which we're not getting into all that. This is a fun bag that my mother-in-law made me too. Ponies and panda bears. God. Oh Lord. Okay, so this Mira, this one I totally bought because I saw somebody had finished it, and it is quite 1980s, the colors and everything, but man, it was pretty. And so this is called The Scent of Old Roses. And I'm stitching this as called for. So this is 32 count Laurel linen by Witchelt. And this is what I have done. So I started here and went down. So I'm now over here. And those are just, these are definitely the older series of DMC. They're definitely very 1980s, but I don't know. I saw this one and I just loved it. But I also probably haven't worked on this in definitely a couple of years. Sorry. And this was my first Mira. So I definitely did not dive in on the Nora Corbett side, although I have finished 2 Nora Corbett fairies and 1 Nora Corbett, one of the reindeer series. And then the other Mirabilia WIP I have that I didn't include in this because I had already stitched on it was that Christmas tree. So I'm kind of drawn to the animals and the buildings and that kind of thing. But this was the first one that I started. This is called Tree of Hope. And I'm doing it as charted. So this is on 32 count. I think it's just raw linen. This is 32 count raw linen. And I have finished the tree. I haven't finished the tree. I'm sure there's beads in there. But I finished the tree. And I'm now down working on the first lady. And I do love this, and I think it would look beautiful on my wall. But again, I wonder when I started this. It was probably 2016 or 2015, to be honest. And I haven't stitched on it in a long time. And it's really, they're beautiful. But like I said, my WIPs, because of a lot of things, tend to be way bigger projects than the things I'm picking lately. And so So anyway, those are my Mira WIPs. I was hoping my son would pick a bag, but I don't think he will within the confines of Mira May. So I think what I'm going to do is just, this will be, I will take a day and I'm going to work on this one. I love it too much. This one is just a little less fantastic and a little more modern. And I just love it. So, that's kind of my Mira May plan, is that if my son picks a bag, so be it. But if not, I'll just take a day and work on winter in my garden. Oh, and by the way, so it says winter down here. That's not happening. Because Lord knows I'm not doing autumn and spring. There's no way. So the winter just ain't happening. She's just a planning lady. All right, so that's Mira May. Goodness gracious, I have a huge mess here. So I did want to say, as a follow-up to last time, my first Flosstube video was filmed on June 26th of last year. So I am coming up on that. And probably by the next time I get back to you, it'll be pretty close to that. So we'll kind of have an anniversary fun. And then I did want to say that on my 27.5, I had also wondered, when I picked this up, I just had these circles here. Okay, and now I have these. I have this pear done. I have the peacock done. I'm over here, and I have this. I started working on this 27 minutes, 5 days a week on August 16th of last year. So, it's going to take a long time, but look at that. You know, if I hadn't have done this, it would probably be those 3 circles. Trust me. It would probably just be those circles at the top. So, you know, things take time, but it's fun to look back and kind of see. So that will be having a 1-year anniversary coming up as well. So I have a few things that I'm leaving off the list. I was going to talk to you, and I'll probably do it next time. I have some full coverage pieces that I want to look at. There's one I want to finish, and there's one I know I want to dekit. So I thought I'd bring those up, as well as a sal I'm thinking about for the summer. I'm thinking of going and pulling old berry bowls from other patterns and making that summer sort of sal thing going on. So I will ruminate more on those things, and maybe those will be topics in my next video. This little man, he's right here. He got a haircut. He hates it. He hates when he gets a haircut. You hate it when you get a haircut. But your eyebrows are amazing. They're very, very nice. Okay. Anyway, I have a huge mess here. I've prattled on far too long. Please, if you can, give the video a like. Leave me a comment. I love the interactions. If I said something weird, just ask me in the comments. If you have votes on which color to use for the Liz Matthews or which fabric to use for my lovely, lovely Stitchy Kindness, let me know. If there's anything you'd like for me to share, just feel free to ask. And I so appreciate the friendship. I know that's kind of odd to say. I don't know you in real life, but I feel like I know you. And for me, that equates to friendship. And so I thank you for it, and I appreciate it. And I'm hoping that in a few weeks' time, I'll have another full basket, and we'll be right back here, and we'll do it again. So have a good day. Bye.